Right, as a Mancunian living in London the last 15 years and coming from a family for whom salt and pepper ribs is something of a religion on special occasions, particularly at the Yang Sing and the Tai Pan, I've never found a decent takeaway or delivery that does decent salt and pepper ribs. There's only a couple of restaurants really, so I figured if there's one thing to do during lockdown, it's perfect this, share the recipe with everyone that's interested, any fellow Mancs. So this is salt and pepper spare ribs, Cantonese style, cooked by a desperate Manc lost in London. And I should say, filmed with one hand, in extreme danger at all times. So, to make the salt and pepper salt, what we're going to do is we're going to take 1.5 tablespoons of sea salt. I think finer salt is better. Some people use flakes, but finer stuff is better. We've got half a teaspoon of white pepper and a teaspoon of Chinese five spice. And all we're going to do is we're going to get this pan to a medium high heat, just using a crap old pan that doesn't matter. You don't want to put dry salt direct on a nice stainless steel or carbon steel pan, I don't think. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat this up, and when it's at a medium high heat, then we add the salt first, and what we'll do is we'll cook that for about 1.5 minutes in here, and that just bakes the salt. No oil, straight in. And we're just going to bake the salt so it is really dry, and then we're going to turn off the heat and we'll add that stuff in. That easy. Okay, so now we've taken the heat off, gas is off, and we're just going to add that in. And we're going to get a wooden spatula, mix that around. And this salt you'll be able to use whether you're doing chicken or ribs or prawns. I guess it works for squid as well. So now we're just going to soak them in water for an hour, then we're going to squeeze the water out, and then we'll soak them in water for another hour. And then they're ready to marinate. At which point you can either cook them as soon as you put the coating on them, or you can leave them to marinate for a couple of hours, but because we're doing it in the afternoon, that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to put these in the fridge now, let them soak, and then we'll give them a squeeze. So we've got our ribs there now, which have drained. I've also put a bit of chicken in because we're going to try a bit of salt and pepper chicken as well. And we've got our rice wine, our light soy, and our dark soy. And all we're going to do now is we're going to get a tablespoon of light soy, a tablespoon of dark soy, and a capful of the rice wine, and 1 tablespoon of corn flour. Be added with half a teaspoon of the 5 spice salt mix with the white pepper that we did before, and then that'll marinate. Okay, so just add in a teaspoon of that. Give that a good mix around. It is actually impossible with one hand, so I'm just going to do it, and then it's done. And you know what you're doing. You don't need some bloke with a spoon showing you how to coat a load of ribs. Okay, so you could just go straight to cooking them now, coating them in the flour and deep frying them, but I'm going to just marinate them in the fridge for certainly an hour, maybe a couple of hours, depending what time the baby goes to sleep. So that's the ribs and there's some chicken in there as well, marinating. Let's see what happens. Okay, so once we have deep fried the ribs, we're going to toss them in the wok with some groundnut oil or vegetable oil. And here we've got the green parts of the spring onions, the garlic, and a nice healthy amount of chilli. There's a lot more there than it looks, because they never put enough on in a restaurant. Okay, so next we've got our ribs, we've got the flour, and we're just going to coat those in the flour so they're totally all rounds, whatever way you look, totally coated, getting all the nooks and crannies. Make sure there's nothing that's not coated. One. And so on, and we're going to do that until they're all coated, and then we're going to fry them. So, next thing is, don't overcrowd the fryer. You don't want it any more crowded than that. It's only a little fryer, a little basket, and then you're going to pop it in here. Oh, here we go. Now I've already overcrowded that because that little boy there, little chap, used to be in there. Sorry, I'm not even looking at the screen. Right, 3 minutes we're doing there, and we'll see how they come out. Okay, so that's 3 minutes. Give them a shake. And then can't do it with one end without burning myself for about the 11th time. So I'm going to stick them in there, and then I'm going to cook those ones as well. And now a second dip in the pool for the first batch. There we go. Can't tell you how exciting it is to have a real deep fat fryer. It took me till I was 40 to get one, thank God. But it is the greatest thing. So they're going to do their thing, then these ones will go back in. And then we'll get to frying them up in the wok with that. And it's just some mixed veg that we're going to have with oyster sauce. By the way, if you want to do oyster sauce, turns out if you mix it with hot water like that, you don't have to do a lot else. Who knew that? I've been just glooping it on for years, it was horrible. Right, okay, they're going to be done in 1 more minute. Okay, so now it's time to, we're probably going to do this in 2 goes because there's quite a lot. Naturally, I know, so I don't need to stick it all in. So we're going to, maybe a tiny bit more peanut oil in there. And then we're just going to put in the garlic, the spring onions and the chilli. It's probably Chinese people all over the place going, what the hell is he doing? But it's worked for me so far. So we'll give that a good stir fry. Should be using the metal thing, but it's over there and I can't be bothered getting it. Okay, and now in go the ribs and a couple of stray bits of chicken that I put in because I thought there might not be enough ribs when there was. And basically to get a good old stir fry. Technically I've overloaded the wok there and I shouldn't have done that many, but you know, it's all we're doing really is tossing around with the garlic and the spring onion and the chilli, so it's not a big deal. Then I'm going to get the salt and pepper salt. I'm going to add another about half teaspoon of that. And make sure everything's coated in that. You don't want too much of that. It's like the temptation is to go mad on it, but it totally kills the flavour. It gets really overpowering. And that is pretty much done. So we're now going to go and eat like pigs. Ha! And there is the final result. Salt and pepper spare ribs, Cantonese style, like you'd get at the Tai Pan or the Yangtze, and not like the absolute slop you get in takeaways in London, which are basically barbecued ribs with a bit of pepper and regular onion. Ridiculous. Look at that. Oh dear. I'm going to make it on YouTube. I'm going to make it. Cause there are those who disagree. And if there is a second